First, going back up. Yep, on these guys. But we already knew that they were going to be sacrificed. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. My game is really not liking this. Ah, come on. Really? That's just a bunch of BS. They had to get super lucky to destroy 2. I'm gonna pour in more armor. I don't know if that's such a great idea. Because I will once again encircle that armor though. Yeah, it's not that bad there actually. Neither here. It seems like their counterattacks are dimming down a bit. They didn't even do anything there. Interesting that they still had 2 armor there, but I think we made it through the very worst of the enemy attacks. And one of my units did die. It doesn't show it. Oh, it does now. Okay, US 3rd and US 1st and US 3rd both dead. Casualties keep rising. The amount of points that I get keep going down. But like I said, actually most of these units, except I guess for the first mechanized now, will be cut off for 2 turns after this. Which means that they're practically just defeated. In that sense. Can you please retreat at least? Okay, good. Because now I can... Yeah, the only unit that still gets to attack is this mechanized. And besides that, they should be done now. That was pretty rough, but I did make it through. And they actually left Kustrin empty, which is also interesting. Yeah, okay, so let's deal with that later because that's actually already taken care of. Over here, I still want to try and push down and circling whatever forces we can find up there, which has not been easy, but and they also didn't retreat. Well, let's use that. Next up, this will be tough to go through. I'll just as gladly keep attacking. I don't think there's any of these that can get in there without any trouble. Oh, you can. Okay. Like, this will not allow me to cut off those guys, but if I can at least cut off the armor, that will also help somewhat. They still have a whole slew of forces there. That's why I didn't attack there. Mm-hmm. There. Alright. 2 Soviet armor. Not the greatest price for this turn. Well, it's not too bad. I mean, we need to get to Krakow by turn 12. Just like Sandomierz. Current 33. It's not too bad. We do need to fill this gap as well. So I've still jammed this area. Now, at this point, would like to use some suppressive fire on these, so that they're at least a little bit weakened. That's not 2, unfortunately. Also a bit afraid that they still get to do massive damage. But we'll just have to see about it. Then over here, the Soviets have committed themselves in this area to try and hold me for as much as possible. Sweet. But because there's no armor here, these guys have a problem. Their best armor in the region is this mechanized unit, and that seems to be about it. Yeah. Which means that if I put a thrust up north, I get to potentially cut off another few enemy divisions. Finish them off. If I cut off the rail here, they still have this supply point. Let's see if you would still be in supply. I think they would be. They wouldn't. But I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that they're gonna be fine. Once again, so now they have these. That's also quite far, probably. Yeah, moves up into that direction. So we'd cut off some, but I would definitely not cut off all of them. Still, I do think it's worth cutting off the rail line regardless. Oh, that's not cut off. Oh, they get it from there. I see. Okay, that's not super useful. I should actually clear these guys out already. There are a lot of stragglers here already, and that will just speed up the advance here. That's probably quite useful. If I can get up to here, these units would be cut off. Now, it is clear that I cannot actually get there for now. What is clear though is that there are plenty of positions that I can move into right now. Let's make sure that they at least have to spread their forces a bit as well. Because keeping the armor here to just hold these positions is quite a waste. So I actually wouldn't mind attacking these. Please retreat. Sweet. If they go through there now, you're cut off for 2 turns, you as well. Let's just also clear out these, because again I think it will greatly benefit the speed of my advance. It will allow me to start crossing here on the next turn, because I will have, you know, these guys in my pocket. And I'll be able to move towards Landsberg. Since we're also, I don't want to say we're running out of time, but that is kind of what's going on, I think, myself, a bit. Definitely need that as well. Like I said, this is the only unit that gets to attack on this side of the river. So I'm not altogether too concerned. But this might... I can move these guys down here too, potentially, but... I think... yeah, if I can cut these guys off, that would tremendously help. It would probably mean that most of the enemy forces will then have been in some form cut off and or destroyed, although there are still significant forces down here as well. This is actually the largest group of enemy forces, which is still capable of serious combat. At any rate, let's use these Polish forces a bit. Also start moving in there. They will also likely be counterattacked, so better prepare. None of these guys would. I don't see that happening. And that means that the rest of Third Army should actually create another pontoon bridge, I think, as well, to try and cross through the woods here. Since, yeah, this follow-up attack is here to cut off remainders of the Soviet forces if possible. You're fine. These guys are fine. I probably don't need all of them there, but that's okay. Now, what is the enemy likely to attack? If I'm honest, the thing that I'm most afraid of is these infantry. Let's do that. Another unit that's likely gonna be targeted is this, but I can't do anything for it. These guys are not a pivotal unit, but as for the enemy, they have some armored units that could move up or try to go through here. I can see them then attacking these. Yeah, you guys will just have to suck it up. That's basically how it will be. Let's actually do this and move them down a bit. It's not so bad if they try to move through here. Any which way. Let's take a look though. This will go, and instead I will like they can go in here as well, which is also not oh, that already chokes up both of those that I have for this turn. Yeah, so that's no good. So I guess for these, it kind of sucks, I suppose. What if I do this? Alright, I think there are certain units that might benefit more from getting supplies, such as you. And we're fine in the other parts. Maybe... no, that can't drop just yet. So I have one left for over here. What we'll have to do Nothing else to be done. 3 more attacks. Now, I think that in order to prevent a breakout attempt, we would be best off first trying this. How do they get kills? But when I try to do it, I get only suppression. So unfair. Oh well. Right, I think that will be it again. Let's see what kind of misery the Soviets can bring on me this time. That's not looking very good for them. Okay, down here. Cutting me off there. Yeah. Oh, come on. Don't kill that tank, please. Please don't kill it. Well, they're firmly on the defensive now. Seems like. They don't even bother to attack up there. Nor down here. Now they start destroying bridges too. Yeah, like I said, my game is, or my PC has a bit of problems processing everything. I guess it's just such an overwhelming number of units. It's pretty rough. But we're getting through there. A little bit of trouble here and there, but why, game? Why? Why do you keep giving me this stuff? All right. Anyway. Over here, better focus on clearing out the enemies. At some point, most of them are out of supply now for 2 turns, and we'll see this dwindle as well. Still, let's position ourselves properly with our units so they don't go overboard. And meanwhile, I do want to start... I want to try and encircle these guys here too now. And... well, I'm not saying that I will get them all in one go. But that was never the goal anyway, to clear them out immediately. So yeah, the goal now at this point will be to keep encircling them and then to keep making sure that the enemy units will turn into stragglers, and that way I can move towards my goals. That's practically what's necessary. With these guys being cut off for 1 turn, I also don't really see them doing much of an attack. And then of course, with this being cut off, I can now move up to this river. I can already see that these guys are in trouble too. So these guys will also be trying to escape, which is why they need these forces to go back there. What is this? Soviet cavalry. It's hard to see this cavalry from this side. Right, let's actually take care of it methodologically. Going here is not a good idea for now. Right. I do, however, want... no. I have to be careful because these guys can actually still attack for this turn. Meanwhile, these guys might attempt a breakout by moving if I give them the chance. So is there any bridge that I might want to destroy? And I think there is, actually. This one. Because by getting rid of that, that means that they cannot cross through there anymore. And I'm actually quite safe moving through there now. This is already cut off through there. So if I can... Like that gets me to Schneidermühl. But the most important thing that I want to do here is to make sure that these guys cannot escape, not even on the next turn. And if I can block them through this way, that's perfectly fine. And then I have to block these hexes and this. So they're still stuck in this area for now. The Berlin pocket of Soviet forces. Nice. How are we on points now, actually? I have to do that here. Back up to 92, okay. The goal here at this point is to minimize my losses as well. Oh, that's not minimizing your losses. Oh well. Do you have a decent attack? I would like to finish off the armored units at least. Because the armored units might give me the most trouble. It's yeah, it's fine. Because this is already good enough for now. They have nowhere to escape. I have a strong unit on Poznan. But rather... yeah, I'm not feeling good enough about this yet. So let's get rid of that armor. At least make it weaker so it doesn't get to attack. And move in here. So these forces are now cut off. They'll try to escape. And they do get to attack for a turn. These are the toughest of all of them. So we've cut off the first Belarusian, second Belarusian. Which means that we only have left first and fourth Ukrainian. Second Ukrainian is there too. These guys will no longer be able to attack, but I need to push these guys away. They can go back there, I don't care about that. But they won't. Okay. I need to hold on to the rail line, of course. Okay, so now I have the opportunity to push further and kick out the remainder of the Soviet forces on this side of the Oder, potentially. Place retreat, excellent. They're trapped, so that's another armored unit which will be unable to escape. Now if I get up on this turn, then that would be the best outcome. There we go. And that also traps another 3 Soviet divisions. So not bad. It's not going to be easy for me to cross in this sector, for now at least. And I might need a breakthrough in other sectors as well, but at least it means that I've also secured that position. I'm on 1/4 of the Soviet prisoners. I'm by far not there yet. But that's fine. Okay, so the important thing currently is to grab or to hold on to that line and just wait out the destruction of those forces with whatever we have left, while as well moving forward with those units which can. Now, I don't think it's... Well, actually, I could already create a pontoon bridge down here that would allow us to potentially move back up, given the paltry state of the Soviet forces around this area. They might deal like 1, but I don't see them retreating. I don't care about the city being in ruins, but suppressing these is actually quite a boon. Nah, I can just wait that out. If that was an elite unit, I can see myself actually getting the veterans in there. That's actually okay, I think. It allows me to further expand on that bridgehead. And if they want to cut off this US armored, I can just attack from up here. There's no reason. Actually, I mean, I would... Yeah, let's get those. You in the city. And block off the Soviets from areas such as that. Now, they still get to attack for 1 turn. So I think it's important to try to not expose myself too much. They did put a unit in there, smart. No need to attack with them, but what I can do here is I can move my armor over to this side now. And basically I can just allow the Soviets to take back this here territory, because that territory doesn't really do anything for me anyway. And with the Soviets being cut off, you know, they need to escape regardless, which is to this side. So this will allow me to start moving the infantry up more freely towards other locations like Warsaw. Yeah. Okay, so that deals with these. You actually get to move ahead. A part of second British. Let's move you up then. I want to keep at least some discipline in where my units are. Well, how much does it help? Not a lot. Up here, there's still some movement which can be done. Close in, close in. Close in on the enemy. And... no, this is not amazing, but the enemy will scramble to try and escape, and let's get the armor there. Why not? Why not? Yeah, you don't need to make any bridges for now. Let's take a look at these, because they are obviously out of supply, but This doesn't really help them. They're fine at 3. They could benefit from 5. But this doesn't help any unit at all. Okay, so this helps a bit in this side. I think that's probably a good idea. Okay, I think, like I said, the worst is over. Still have 2 airborne divisions that I could technically use, but they fall into the too good to use category in a way. We'll see. I might need them to take the last few cities, so I'd like to keep them to that end. Alright, here we go. Soviet turn 4. That's a good one. Come on, game. You got to be kidding me. It's like, I really think that for the enemy somehow to be able to do that, it's just too overpowered. Like, imagine that for 12 turns they get to destroy 2 armor per turn. They can wreck all of my armor, like, almost. It is that powerful. I don't know, that's... I feel that all of the balancing things in this game are really working out very well, but somehow I keep finding that to be insane if the enemy destroys 2 of your armor. And in this case they deal 4. But I don't know. On the other hand, if they can deal a maximum of 1 damage to your armor, I guess maybe for some missions it gets too easy. Like I imagine it must be really hard to balance that, but it is so absolutely tough and cruel to lose 4 strength points in tanks every single turn like this if the AI is doing that well. It's just, yeah, that's just obscene, losing that much. So oh well, let's cut off these guys, and that's not actually the way I wanted to move, but oh well. Like I said, I do want to spearhead forward now. That makes it a bit difficult on the supplies. Let's try to, at the very least, get this railroad running. That would be quite helpful. And... nope. That often doesn't do it, actually, which is interesting, I think. It's super tough for my units to get onto this hex. They find it impossible, near impossible at least. But, well, they can easily cut off the rail line again. No, not even you can do it. Right. Let's finish these off and then hope that they won't go around. Which I guess should settle it then over on this side. Can't get into the woods. Right. Let's keep moving through here as well. So they do have new forces over there. Or at least some forces. Unclear yet what those forces might be. Let's keep that closed off. And this too, although I don't see these guys escaping very quickly at all. Still don't need to do with anything with those guys. They'll be cut off for a second turn. So they'll be in trouble. Right. Cut off you. And these forces, I can deal with it with infantry, so I can use the infantry as blocking detachments while I move forward. Although Poznan will need to be taken. No, that's out of range. Really, only the 5th is probably in range there, but none of these guys are from the 5th. I need to finish this unit off in order to get that rail line running too. So let's get working on that. It's free. Okay. So technically, yeah, I need to check what I want to work on next then. This is really sucky. Okay, so let's create those pontoon bridges in order to cross, like I said. It's still dangerous because there's a lot of these guys, but ultimately the goal here will be to try and cut them off from both the north and then also the south, so then we can envelop them as well. That would allow me to bypass Poznan. Yeah, you have nowhere to rearguard to. Yeah, so they will be finished off next turn. This is blocked. You don't get to move. You do, however. Let's get you over there then. We do have Neustetten now. Because Warsaw and Danzig are turn 10, and Warsaw's all the way over here. It means that I really have to spearhead to get there now. That sense, yeah, it's super far. It's like 6, 7, 8, or 9 even. Let's start attacking some of these as well. Let's move up the armor. Yeah, infantry should get right next to that. But okay, for you, no need to attack yet. And this doesn't get me any supplies regardless. I do quite need this railroad over here. But I think a lot of those Soviet stragglers will be disappearing soon. At which point we can snag everything over there. You guys should be in supply, just like you. That's taken care of right now as well. You're moving ahead. Let's actually do that. Okay, like I said, down here is the biggest problem for now. Let's just finish these guys off and get the stragglers. Be able to get in there. Next, let's see here. Let's just finish them off. There we go. It doesn't give me a lot of stragglers, but okay. That's fine. Huh. It's a lot of additional units that they have there. And I'm sure that they do get supplies from in there, yeah. Well, you're pretty weak too. Let's see. I can't take it, but at least it's another enemy unit destroyed. And with a bit of luck, I can actually move up there on the next turn as well. How are they on supply? They should be okay. Yeah. Okay. Then for the 5th, It's just they kind of need to move down as well. The US 3rd up here. The US 1st. Yeah, they actually have a couple of units up there. Let's move you in here to Frankfurt for now. And then the 2nd British can move in here. One last check for supplies. That shouldn't go down. This doesn't matter. This does. Yeah, let's keep it at 3. And that's it. So next turn we'll have 3 again. You can move actually up there. That's useful. They can move in here. I don't care that much. Okay then. We'll go to turn 6. Yeah. Mm-hmm. At least they didn't go for my armor this time. But, oh. Those are some powerful forces. Seems like they don't really like that river. Me crossing the river there. Well, they're doing some stuff, but not a whole lot, so they must not have that many troops left at this point. Let's deal with these first. And just already nab a couple of those stragglers. Retake Berlin. Can you attack a second time? Yeah. Kind of like that. $84 prisoners right now. Right, I will get a lot more from those guys on the next turn. Once again, let's just have them boxed in. And they will turn into stragglers by themselves. Okay. That is a bit unfortunate. that does not help a whole lot. Actually, let's just finish them off. Thing here is that if I cut their rail line here, this won't reach, and whatever forces they have up here will be out of supply as well. So that is, I guess, the goal there. Grab all these prisoners. I have 100 now. So it's starting to look pretty decent. Okay. That is a bit silly. But it does mean that I have to focus on this also quite a bit. Let's take a look now. Yeah, so this area here is now cut off. That does help. Should probably try to take it easy, but well, besides all of this, I do need to finish off most of the Soviet forces in this area before turn 12 as well. Are you cut off? No, you are not. Getting supply from there. Into the woods is fine. And going in here to secure this area. They can't cross that bridge. I can make a small encirclement of the forces over in here, but they still have a huge swath of forces down at Krakow. Which could pose a bit of a problem. Let's go back up north. These guys will disappear on the next turn. Really no need to attack now. And having to get to 200. Technically, I do have this rail line going now for this turn, at least. So if these guys don't move, that would be very beneficial for me. That's a lot of stragglers you got there. That's why I wanted to get rid of those. Okay, we'll have to beat them. It's a tough unit to crack. But I think... try to cut them off at least as well. I don't see these guys moving that much anymore either. Let's attack them, so at least I get to cross. No need to attack yet against those guys. They will also likely disappear, but again, I'm trying to hurry up a bit. I think I can get to the 200 now. I think I'm looking pretty good for that. Okay, these guys are cut off, so they will eventually wither away as long as I keep the pressure up. They apparently have a couple of units on there too. Something which I severely dislike. How quickly would I be able to get to Danzig? 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I might get there. Okay. Like I said, I'm looking to surround the next couple of forces as well, so we might be able to continue moving further. It's more about speed now. Yeah, sure. These last guys probably won't need it, but I do want to move forward a bit regardless for later. Could move in here, but I'm a bit afraid of these guys. They are still tough. This 5th Guards tank core. Probably willing to move down. Alright. This blocks them. Oh, you're part of the 5th down there. Yeah, that would be problematic for them. Let's take care of the HQs and supplies. Okay, so if we can see that these are not doing very well for now, but I can move them up. Not you. So which unit is this? Okay. need to get rid of that. Secondly, I do need to place one here. And that's a bit unfortunate, but because they might actually cut me off in some locations, like here. But it's probably for the best. You're part of the US 3rd, so you can get some supply. They could go back in there. Let's move you back for that. Right, so you going down to 2 is good for now. And this helps a little bit, so should also be good. Okay, let's leave you. Definitely. And I hope Warsaw is empty, because yeah, that will be quite challenging to take care of. Oh, well. So I'm actually better off just moving then. Also, because that cuts off the forces at Schneidermühl, and that is beneficial also for me already. These guys might be in trouble, but again, I have air supply. Are they part of the US 1st Army? Huh. Well, that 1st Army, for my part, can actually move up here. They lost logistics. They already did lose it. So they would have to wait regardless. Can't allow them to retake Frankfurt. That would be unfortunate. US 3rd is in a good spot for now. Okay, so we're done. Turn 6. Let's see what the Soviets muster up. Just retreating. Wow. So they did do it. Okay, that's challenging, not gonna lie. That will make things difficult. That's too late for them. But at least the game runs a little bit better now. Because right. A lot of the enemy units are gone now.